My childhood was very carefree. I grew up in a small rural town in Georgia called CRAWFORDVILLE, Georgia. As a kid growing up in Georgia, we played every sport that was in season. And so my fondest memories are pretty much all linked or tied to some kind of sports endeavor. I was going to Howard University in Washington, D.C. from the time that I was probably 10, 11 years old. The 13th hour, I get a letter from Park College saying, we want you to come play basketball for us. The next thing I know, I'm headed to the Midwest, sight unseen. My brother drove me from Georgia to come to school out at Park, and we pull up at Deering, and my brother looks at me and he says, you gonna stay? I said, yeah, man, I'm going to stay. Because the building at that time, you had like the ivy or whatever it was growing up the side of the building and this whole 9 yards. And so he dropped me off, we unpacked, and I've been in this area ever since. I always took the student side of being a student athlete very, very important. I remember the first C I ever got. I went through high school, I knew other people who got C's, but I didn't get a C. And my freshman year, I saw a C for the first time in my life. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't tell my mama I got a C. And that let me know right away that it was gonna require some discipline and some focus to be able to figure out how to carve your path through this environment. It was interesting because my first job was with the Kansas City Star, and we were literally putting the paper together. I became ultimately senior copywriter in the Star's promotions department, which is how I actually stumbled into this opportunity for involvement with the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. But I do think it was the diversity of experiences that I gained at Park. I had an opportunity to hone my skills in the TV arena at the university. I got an opportunity to be the sports editor of the Stylus. I went down and worked at the Parkville Gazette at that time. And so there was a variety of educational experiences that I think led me ultimately down this path that I gained at then Park College, of course now Park University. And then I started to meet the players, and particularly one player, my dear friend, the late great John Buck O'Neill. The charisma, the energy, the passion, the pride that he had in wanting to make sure that they would be remembered. If you're going to understand the Black experience in this country, I don't want it to be one-sided. I don't want you to just see the downtrodden nature of my heritage. You also need to see my success stories. You have to see me in my entirety. And the story of the Negro Leagues is a tremendous success story. In this crazy world that we live in, you don't get too many opportunities to leave a legacy. But if we do our jobs properly, we have an opportunity to leave something that will ultimately and hopefully stand the test of time so that generations to come will have an opportunity to come here. And it all starts with this country boy hopping in the car with his brother, driving, I don't know how many miles, 800 miles, to get to Parkville, Missouri, looking up at a building that had these vines growing up the side of the building and saying, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay.